Namekians are lean, mean, green, regenerating machines, and they're the stars of this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. I think we can all agree that Dragon Ball Super has been really epic lately. Goku's first battle with Jiren, that moment where Goku used a Kamehameha to slide over Kefla's giant ki blast of doom, and this week's episode where Gohan and Piccolo battle against the Namekians of Universe 6. And these are not your ordinary, everyday Namekians. So, before I even go any further, just spoiler warning, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Two universes are defeated in this week's episode, which means two universes are immediately erased. And guess what? It's Universe 2 and Universe 6. Yes, Universe 6 no longer exists. The Saiyans, the Namekians, the giant Winnie the Pooh monster, the freaking robot who actually has the ability to fart, a crazy boar man, everybody's favorite assassin hit, they're all gone. They're never coming back. And the Namekians were the last hope for this universe. And they built them up like they were going to be incredible. And they did some great things in this episode. First, I do love that my theory actually held water. For the last couple weeks, I've been talking about the fact that these Namekians might be composed of a lot of other Namekians that have fused together. And they are quite literally the last two Namekians of Universe 6. And the entire planet, the planet Namek, have actually volunteered their services for the Tournament of Power to fuse into these guys. And basically that gives them the powers of unlimited regeneration and just having overall intense speed and power. And their battle against Piccolo and Gohan in this episode, guys, it was awesome. Not only for Gohan finally starting to display some of that really hardcore power that we saw that he originally used against Perfect Cell, but Piccolo also proved again that he is easily the most powerful Namekian of all time. And being composed of only 3 of them compared to Saonel and Pirina, that really stands for how awesome this character is. And let me just like fangush for a moment. There was this one moment in the episode where just, man, I had a huge lump in my throat just watching it. The scene where Piccolo is seemingly defeated and he's on the ground, and in his mind he sees the images of Kami and Nail. They have no dialogue, but just seeing them there is awesome. And then you have Kami who's pointing in a certain direction, which points Piccolo to where he needs to go. This moment was so freaking powerful for me, and as a huge Piccolo fan who is easily in my top 3 favorite characters of the series, this is something that I was really waiting to see, and thankfully, Piccolo does not lose in this episode. I was so afraid that he was going to lose, especially the preview shot where you see him getting blasted by this massive ki blast and he's like getting ready to die, kind of like that one moment where he tried to protect Gohan, or even the moment in the freaking Return of Frieza saga in Dragon Ball Super. Like, he sacrifices himself so many times, and I do love that there was sort of like a parallel to that in this episode with Gohan doing a lot of the defending and actually most of the fighting. He actually wants Piccolo to utilize the special beam cannon and try and take these guys out at once, while Gohan just sort of deals with them with his overall physical strength. And Gohan just brings the pain in this episode. There's this one moment where he just gets right up in Saonel's face and he punches him, and just the motion that they use, the speed, the impact with how fast he moves and when he slams into the ground, guys, it's satisfying. It's just one of those classic moments that Dragon Ball always makes me think of, like those just big, impactful punches. It's nothing that's groundbreaking or anything. It just looks really cool, and it's been a while since we've seen Gohan go this crazy. That combined with a lot of the choreography of the episode with him fighting against Saonel and Pirina at the same time. Like, I loved when he would actually like stretch his arms out and actually use it kind of like a Gatling style like Luffy attack from One Piece. Just watching them fly around and the overall spectacle of their powers was fantastic. It was a really great moment, and it led to my favorite moment of the episode where Gohan is hitting both Saonel and Pirina with like a big Kamehameha blast, while Goku's also doing one at the same time, and we'll get to his story in a second. But he's basically hitting both of them at the same time, with Saonel taking most of the blast and Pirina trying to fire back with this massive ki blast of his own, which is so incredibly cool looking with how devastatingly giant it is and how it looks like there's no way that he's going to be able to stop it. And I even love how Pirina's actually able to move his arm like outside of the ki blast and grab onto Gohan, but then Piccolo is right behind him, he's glowing, brimming with power, and he just unleashes probably one of the coolest looking special beam cannons I've seen from the series. I love how it's animated because, yeah, it does go through both of them at the same time, and that's cool, but I like how it starts out as this really thin beam that slowly starts to become bigger, and then it just erupts with power when you see those traditional rings start to form around it. You can really feel like the explosive power as it's cutting through both of their bodies, and it's just awesome. It's such a fantastic Piccolo moment, and it's a great Piccolo and Gohan moment, proving again that their training before this tournament is definitely a good thing, and it's paying off in the end as they are able to defeat these guys. But while all of that is going on, there's another battle that's going on at the same time. You have Goku, 17, and 18, who are battling against the remaining fighters of Universe 2, who are these three ridiculous characters. There's Zerloin, Zarbuto, and Rabanfra, or whatever his name is, the weird red dude. And thanks to the love of Universe 2, they're actually able to transform into the Kamikaze Fireballs, which, yes, means they end up looking like Rebrand, Rosie, and Kakunsa. So just basically try to imagine these characters wearing those costumes, and that's what you get, and it looks really funny. Zerloin, in particular, who is Rebrand in her costume, like his giant pointy head combined with her costume looks hilarious. He looks like an even more effeminate version of Tingle from The Legend of Zelda. It is freaking hilarious. And these guys have a surprising amount of power as they're able to battle against Goku, 17, and 18 and actually present something of a challenge. And they're even able to combine all of their power into this one big ultimate attack where they basically take the actual literal weight of their love and combine it and transform it into this massive, super cartoony black heart, which then slams down on top of Goku 18 and 17, and Goku can't even instant transmission out of it. The power is so crazy that it constantly pushes them down, and they're hoping that it'll actually push them to the underside of the ring so that they'll actually get a ring out. But Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue. He's already recuperated. He fires a Kamehameha Blast, which slowly but surely erupts through the gravity, takes them all out, and they literally go out of the ring at the same time as the Namekians from Universe 6. Two universes defeated at once, and it's insane. And then we finally get the farewell to these universes, which were so different in how they were handled. With Universe 2, actually just sort of patting everybody on the back, letting them know that they did the best that they could, and that the power of love will, of course, always endure. And, of course, Hellas, the god of destruction of that universe, declaring if they're going to go out, they're going to go out with style. They're going to do it beautifully, and they just disappear in a big, just boom of sparkles. And then there's Universe 6. This is the universe that I feel so far has had the most weight from seeing it actually go away, because we've known a lot of these characters a lot longer, and we've gotten to like see their personalities, and the moment between Beerus and Champa was perfect. I thought it was going to try and get really sappy with maybe Beerus saying something to his brother, or even Champa actually like saying good luck or make sure to win the tournament, but no, Champa, true to his personality, does that weird thing they always do in Japanese anime where they pull down their eye and they stick out their tongue, you know, the bleh thing. I don't know what the deal is with that, but it's so perfect for Champa to actually do something like that, and it definitely got a nice laugh out of me and some of my friends when we were watching the episode. It was a really great moment. And then there's Beerus just standing there, not really saying anything, and he's just quiet. You don't really get to see all the emotion on his face. That's like the realization for Beerus at that moment, knowing that this can happen. My brother's gone now. I'm never going to see him again, although I'm sure with the Super Dragon Balls they are going to wish everybody back. But still, it's a really heavy moment for that character, and I definitely think it was one of the more starker moments from the Tournament of Power, and definitely from Beerus in this episode. It was really great. It was also kind of funny how Vados just immediately like just went to hang out with the Universe 7 guys. She's like, screw these guys, they're dead, I don't really care. Sorry, Champa, it was fun, but whatever. It's still so weird knowing that the Angels get out of this, and I'm hoping that leads to something a little more interesting that we don't know about. I mean, there could be so many twists for what they could do for the rest of the Tournament of Power. And that brings us to the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. Man, this episode was awesome! I love this one right here. Anything with Namekians gets me really interested, and learning about the revelation that these Namekians are composed of, like, pretty much their entire planet each, like, that's just insane. It's so cool. The image, too, of when Piccolo actually realizes what they are, of just seeing, like, these, like, weird black outlined Namekians, just, like, droves of them behind them, knowing that, oh, man, these guys have absorbed this many people. They're going to be incredibly strong, and Nameks already have a ton of potential in terms of their combat abilities. The only real major difference is most of them just so happen to be pacifists. But the ones that know how to fight can really bring the pain. And there are just so many great sequences from this episode, like with Goku and Gohan doing their Kamehamehas in tandem. The moment where Gohan just initiates the battle with Saonel and Pirina with that big epic punch, followed by them just flying around in the air. The choreography was very sick and super freaking fast. I loved it. It was one of my favorite scenes from the Tournament of Power. I am slightly disappointed that that's all we're going to get from Saonel and Pirina, as I was really hoping to see a lot more from them. I mean, just the fact that they're Namekians alone makes them really interesting, and the fact that they built them up as the final fighters of Universe 6, and to see them taken out over the span of really a single episode, even though we have seen a little bit of their battle with Gohan and Piccolo, I just wanted more. I didn't want it to be like a 4-episode arc, like frickin' Goku versus Kefla or anything, but I would like to maybe a 2-parter with these guys just to see how crazy they would get, and I was also kind of hoping that maybe they would try to fuse with one another. I just thought that would have been a really cool concept. An entire planet of Namekians in one, that would be freaking awesome. That would be great. Other than that, this was a really great Piccolo Gohan-centric episode with a really nice B story being Goku's, which managed to be fun, ridiculous, and over the top in the best ways possible. The next episode looks like it's just going to be a weird one. It looks like it's going to be kind of fillerish in a sense. It's not really filler, but it's going to involve this secret fighter from Universe 4 who is invisible and is supposedly like the trump card of Catella. We'll get to see what that's going to be. And they even insinuate that some characters might actually like get a ring out in the next episode. They even make it kind of look like Vegeta gets wrung out, which, if that happens, I'm going to be honestly kind of angry, just because they can't take out Vegeta before he has like a really big epic battle. But really, we are getting closer to the end of the Tournament of Power with only 13 minutes left, although Planet Namek was supposed to explode in 5 minutes, so they still have a lot to work with, and the fact that this arc is supposedly going to end in March, we're really not that far away from the end, so things are probably going to amp up after the next episode, and I can't wait to see more of it. What more can I say? This episode rocked. Piccolo was awesome. If I had a favorite scene, it's not even the action moments. It's that moment with Piccolo, Kami, and Nail. I don't know what it was about that moment, but it sent a shiver down my spine, and it was, for me, just an epic Dragon Ball moment. And, of course, all the Gohan stuff wasn't bad either, and that special beam cannon. What I'm saying is I liked this episode, so I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Check it out, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts about the episode. Tell me all of them in the comments section below. What did you think of the Universe 6 Namekians and Gohan and Piccolo in this episode? And what do you hope to see from the rest of the Tournament of Power? Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super videos, as well as a lot of other anime and manga reviews. And like the video if you liked it. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay down there, baby.